I am so super proud of you for being with me. I know it takes a lot of effort to concentrate. We have so many foolish distractions. This wasn't really part of the course, but as I'm mentioning this, I really need to tell it to you. There's a guy, a brilliant guy, and he in fact has a talk show. He has over 3 million listeners, which, anyway, make a long story short, he's a Yale graduate, really bright guy, an amazing guy. Now, he says there was a Chabad.org, amazing website, by the way, and he spoke Chabad.org in the New York Public Library. They had a 24-hour marathon of positive speeches and stuff like that. So he said something, which when he said it, I didn't believe it. But after I listened to him, I believed it. And he said as follows. Now, my friends, this whole course is all about helping you be happy. But can you be happy if, let's say, every minute I come and I stab you with a needle of anxiety and fear? I don't think so. Every day you are taking in probably at least 10 times a day a needle of anxiety and fear. And this is not just I'm saying it. I mean, I hypothesized this, but I saw there was a study that proves it. He said, when you ask people, this was before COVID, maybe it's still applicable, I don't know. He says, when you ask people, how is your life? And they'll say, my life is pretty good. And then you say, how is life? He said, life is terrible. Now, how can your life be good and life be terrible? Because your life in your reality should be pretty much similar. The answer is the media. Now, I didn't believe what he said. I'm pretty strong-minded until I actually stopped watching the media. It was the 2016 election, and the media, they're insane. All they do is repeat the same story again and again and again, and each side repeats exactly the bias that they have. If anybody is watching the media is pure bias. It's a propaganda of one side just repeating its thing. They have their president, they're all happy. They have the other guy, they're going to go against it. That's the way it is. So I got so sick of Trump, Hillary, Trump, Hillary, Trump, Hillary. I was just sick of it. So I said, that's it. I got the power. See this thing? Very powerful. And 2 weeks later, I was happy. Anybody who does this, anybody that's happy today does not watch the media. Anybody who watches the media is unhappy. So all I can say is try it for 2 weeks. Just do me the biggest favor in the world. Try it for 2 weeks. But I'm going to get back to what I was saying. Divine destiny. This is chapter number 2. This, in a way, is the most fundamental. And actually, if you understand how important this is, you understand how important getting rid of the media is. And as we've said, the importance of lighting up your soul with positivity, with good thoughts. Now, I'm a religious man. I mean, I'm not try to be. So not super religious, but I believe in the religion. There are many people that have many religions. There's 1 billion Catholics, many different forms of Christianity. There's 1.4 billion Muslims. All the kind of, if you want to call it monotheistic faiths, have within them rules. Okay, this is right, this is wrong, you got to follow the rules. In a certain sense, they assume, perhaps correctly, that if you follow the rules, things will be good. But there's a deeper truth which quantum physics has discovered. Now, this is really so amazing because what Kabbalah, what Jewish mysticism has told us for thousands of years has been discovered by the deepest science, quantum physics. And that is quite simple. It's called the law of reaction, not the law of attraction, the law of reaction. It's called mirroring. So let's talk, me and you, for a moment. You are going to feel the emotions that I have. You know why? Because I am talking to you. If I was negative, I hate you. I mean, I don't want to put negative emotions. You would feel that. Emotions connect. Physical matter feels emotions. You can go and check out Dr. Emoto Images. The water reflects the emotions exactly. If you have you could put a sentence, positive or negative, it reflects those emotions, not to the extent that, I don't know if someone said it or put these words, I hate you, I'll kill you, and the water had an image of a man with a gun. And it's just amazing. It makes the image. You can feel the energy. You see, what we all really are is we are containers of energy. And so what happens when you have two containers is that the energy reflects. And we know this also from psychological studies, is that when you have people together, usually the more dominant person, his or her energy will become the energy of the other person. So that's why, again, it's so super critical. You go away from the media, away from all the TV, away from the shows, because it's negative energy. You want to be in positive energy. Study Jewish mysticism. Be with happy people. Make other people happy. Pray to God. You need to be in positive energy. And this is why it's so critical. Because, again, religious people will say, well, if I follow the religion, I will get a reward. Jewish mysticism will say, listen carefully to what I'm saying, if you are happy, you create that God becomes happy. So you say, God would be happy for me? Well, let me tell you a story. I have a daughter. She's a young lady now, but when she was a young child, she's still pretty precocious, but she was super precocious, super bright, understood people very well. When she was 2, she said that we were around the table, a little pipsqueak of 2-year-old old, she goes, stop. So we all stopped. She goes, yes, what would you like? She goes, I just wanted to see if it would work. So really understands people very well. Her teachers, she's my love of my life and all this kind of stuff. So I remember her, brilliant, as a little kid, right? So little kids always need something from their parents. So there are two types of kids. Some kids are like, meh, and you're like, oh, whatever. She would always come, she'd say, Tati, I love you. And I'm like, oh. And then she's like, can you? I was like, of course. You see, it's a reflection. I may be bigger and stronger and more powerful, but as long as I'm humble, as long as I'm not arrogant, as long as I don't think I'm better than her, so who are you to talk to me? So you come to me, and you come to me with love. Our sages teach us, Kamayim hapanim lapanim, kain lev ha'adam la'adam. As one heart mirrors or emotes energy, just like I'm looking into a mirror and I see myself, the emotions, even in this exchange that's going on right now, the emotions that I hold are the emotions that you will hold. In fact, I remember coming once to my daughter's nursery school. I was just in a good mood. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Everybody's the same. Now I go to the nursery school every single day, and nobody's so nice to me. And this is an exact reality. The mood that you're in is the exact reflection that you're seeing. Right now, if you ask me, how are people? I'll say, people are super nice. But I know there were times in my life that I was down. People were not nice. They were down around me. So you're creating a reflection emotion. Think about the power you have. If you're positive, you're going to create positivity in the universe, in all the souls around you, because that's what reflects the souls. Now, God, as we said, is humble, and he's reflecting your emotions. So I'll conclude this idea. The Baal Shem Tov teaches us 2 people come to a king, and they both say, they both need something. One person, he's like, Your Highness, and he's begging. And so the king he hears that every day. So he's like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. We'll think about this. But the other guy comes, he says, Your Majesty, I love you. You're the most amazing guy in the world. You know, because of you, we have safety. The king says, wow, this guy's amazing. He's making the king feel good. You and God are one. Your soul and God's soul. In fact, the neshama, the word neshama, which means soul, comes from neshima, breath. God breathed in his nostrils the breath of life. You may not be so connected to God, but like a parent-child relationship. The parent is always connected to the child because he knows that's my kid. So the kid may be in his own little zone, but the parent feels it in his heart. You are God's heart. He cares. He feels you. So when you're miserable, you're coming to your parents and you're miserable. Even if you're just miserable in general, you're making him sad. And when you're happy, even if you're just happy for no good reason, you're making him happy. If my kids are happy, it makes me happy. And then your destiny is happy.